Hi, hello, my name's Than, short for Nathaniel. So today I'm finally going to be reviewing the two new Tom Ford quads that I have. They're both limited edition. I have this one, which is in the wet dry formula. This is Chalet Lust. And it's a very like frosty, toppery kind of quad. So compared to the other kind of Soleil Neige packaging, it has the white, but the new Tom Ford stuff has like the Tom Ford logo in the middle here, and then it has silver instead of the gold. And then in this one, this is in the newer cream formula from him. This is the first palette I tried in that formula, and this is also limited edition as well. And then I also kind of just wanted to rank / go over the rest of my Tom Ford collection. So I have, including the two new quads I picked up, I have 10 quads total. The rest are in the wet dry formula. And then I also have 2 of the cheek and eye palettes that came out a couple years ago. And then I'll just quickly show the rest of them just so you know like what I have. So this is from the holiday collection last year, I believe. It's the quad First Frost. I really like this one. It's really pretty. These 3 were part of that. Honestly, in my opinion, it's the best like holiday collection that I've seen since I've started really collecting makeup and stuff. It's from like, I don't know, maybe like 2018, 2019, something like that. And it's these 3 quads. Oh my God. So this is number 1, Soleil Neige. I like this one. And I really like the kind of like wintry, snowy look that you get with this, but see how there's like some resistance and it won't close all the way? It magnetizes shut still, but it's just, it feels tense. It's like, I don't know, it stops me from really picking it up, but like, you know, it's just not smooth. It's weird, I don't know, but I still think it's beautiful and I do like it a lot. This is number 2, Soleil et Lune. Again, there's like a little creak. So I don't know what that's about, but it still closes better than the first one. But yeah, I love this one too. Just, oh my God, like this collection was crazy. Like, oh my, they need to make these permanent. And then Soleil d'Hiver. Oh, this is probably my number 1 palette. Like, I love this palette so much. I've used it literally, I can't even tell you how many times I've used this shade and this shade. These are probably like my 2 most used shades in my entire collection of all eyeshadows. Like not just Tom Ford, like everything. I just do this all over the lid, and then this sparkly one here is more of like a sheer topper, and it's amazing. Like I can already tell you right now, this is my number 1. I guess we'll get more into the ranking later down the line, but yeah, I'm already telling you, this is like my number 1. I love this. And then from the standard quads here, I have Nude Dip, of course. This is a classic. This is probably my 2nd most used one, but I do prefer the shiny topper in Soleil d'Hiver more than this. This is a little too gold, I think, for like the coolness of this palette. I don't know, like I think it should just be a little bit sheerer or cooler toned. It's weird. It's a weird color in comparison to like the coolness of all these, but I love this shade, love this shade, love. Next I have Suspicion. This is another really, really nice one. I mean, it's just so good. It looks really good with my blue eyes, especially this more kind of like ambery gold. It's like really like a statement gold, and yeah, I mean, what a good quad. Oh, this one is Double Indemnity. I like this one too. I don't really reach for it a lot, but this black in here is very unique, and it is different to the ones that are in Soleil Neige. I know when this was coming out, there was a lot of comparisons with these, and this is different for sure. It's much more sparkly. It has bigger glitters in there than in the other one, and yeah, it's just different. And then this is actually the first Tom Ford quad I got. I just couldn't decide between them, and I wasn't really like super investing into like makeup yet, so yeah, I was like, I have to only choose one, so I went with this one. This is Daydream, and it's beautiful. I don't reach for it that often, but I just thought it was the most unique one to me at the time. I wasn't really interested in everyday colors and stuff, to be honest, at that point. So yeah, I wanted something that was gonna be more unique and fun. And I love it. I think this one is discontinued, but I'm sure you could still find it on eBay. This purple here is really nice. It's soft, but you could definitely build it to that brighter purple color. And then these palettes, oh my god, so I was so upset that these were like $1 million when they first came out. I was like, well, I'm definitely not gonna get that because it's just ridiculous. But I think like about a year maybe after they came out, they were 50% off on Nordstrom, and I was like, it's time, it's now or never. So I got, again, so here's Intensity 0.5 Rose Cashmere. I do reach for this one quite a bit because of these kind of just like really basic everyday shades here I love, and I do really like this more corally peachy shade, really nice. The cheek shades I don't actually reach for very often. And then this one here, Moonlit Violet. This is another super pretty one. This highlight I reach for more than the one in the Rose Cashmere. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really use this one too much either, but it is very pretty and I'm happy to have it. Okay, so now let me tell you my ranking from 1 to 12 of the palettes that I have in my collection. This is kind of like, I don't know, it's not really like a solid ranking because I feel like I enjoy using all these palettes, and I feel like it could change just depending on the day, depending on the kind of look I want to do, you know. But I feel like in general, this is like my general ranking, you know what I mean? Number 1, I did mention this before, Soleil d'Hiver. I just love it. It's just so pretty. It's so natural and just easy for me to use every day. Like I just do this all over the lid, and then, you know, a little bit or a lot of bit of this topper, and it's just amazing. I love it. Next to that, I put First Frost because I really like pinky golds like this. They're just so pretty and nice. The one thing I will say about this palette is I do feel like these shades are like a little close, but I just love this pinky shade so much that, yeah, I'm still keeping it at the number 2 spot. Number 3 would be Nude Dip. Again, just really easy one and done shades. This would be like probably one higher, or honestly, if this palette had the same topper that was in Soleil d'Hiver, this would probably be my number 1. But just because this isn't quite as perfect for me as that one, that's why it's number 3. But I love, you know, the taupiness of it all, and this sort of rose goldy taupey shade. I love, 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 love. And it's probably my second most used compared to the First Frost, but I just think the First Frost, that pink in there is a little bit more unique, so yeah. And then, controversial opinion, I guess. But number 4 is gonna be the new Chalet Lust. I know I didn't get to my demo and review of this yet, but I love this freaking palette. I know a lot of people have been saying it's just all one shade, blah, 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 blah. Well, no, it's not. They're all unique shimmers. So these 3 are more of that toppery kind of formula that are similar. It's similar to the one in Soleil d'Hiver. So I love it. They're so sparkly. And then this shade here is more of like a satiny, creamy texture. It's very soft. It feels pretty unique compared to a bunch of the other shades that I felt. And yeah, I love this because, like, for me personally, a lot of the times I just reach for one little sparkly shade, and that's my look for the day. It's just one little sparkle. And I love it. So for me, yeah, this is up there, and as I have it for longer, I could see it, you know, maybe even climbing the ranks a little bit. But yeah, I would say this is like my 4th favorite right now. Number 5 is Suspicion. I just think this sort of amber gold is unique, and I like, you know, it's just a very solid gold palette. You could still get the depth with the brown, and yeah, I love this one. Whenever I want to really like enhance my eyes, this would be the one that I would go to. Number 6, I went with this one because even though the packaging is a little weird on mine, I just feel like the look I can get with this palette, I can't get with the other Tom Ford palettes I have, because this blue is unique for my Tom Ford collection, and then this is a really nice bright frosty shade. It's not quite as glittery or intense as the Soleil d'Hiver sort of style glitter, but it's still really nice, and I like it, and it's perfect for, you know, the winter time. For number 7, I have Rose Cashmere. This is another one that would probably be higher up if I just kind of like reached for it more. But I don't know, I just don't reach for it a lot. Maybe just because it's always kind of like tucked away further because it's bigger. But yeah, I don't know. I love this. Like I said, I love them all, so this is a hard ranking, but yeah. And also just because it's special, so because of the, you know, the face format as well. And I guess I'll just kind of jump in. This is the next one too. Number 8. These two are kind of side by side because I feel like you can get, because of the bronzer shades in these, you can get a little bit more depth or dimension out of the look. So I don't know, I feel like they're unique in that way. And yeah, these are kind of just special to me too because I thought I would just never be able to get them, and then they were 50% off. So yeah, I don't know, I'll always remember that. And yeah, I really enjoy using these when I can. Number 9, I have Soleil et Lune. And again, I really like this one. The green is so unique, but I just feel like, I don't know, I just don't reach for it, but I still really like it. And it has this nice green. I mean, these two here are great for like one and done looks. They would be similar to like the kind of look I would get with my first, you know, the top 4. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm just putting this at number 9. So Double Indemnity here is number 10. And just because, even though this sort of glittery black is unique, I just don't really reach for it too often because I don't usually go in my day-to-day super smoky, you know what I mean? And I do consider like these palettes more my like go-to everyday palettes, even though I know I rank some higher for being more unique. I don't know, this one, I just, yeah, I don't know. It's my ranking and it's number 10. Okay, and then this one, the new one, Violet Satine, I think is how you say it, in the cream formula. I do like this, and I'm gonna get into this, of course, you know, later on in the video, but I just feel like I prefer the wet dry formula to this one. This is a really nice formula. I'll say already, I have experienced some creasing with this by the end of the day, but it's super minimal, hardly noticeable, way different than the kind of creasing I was experiencing with those Rose Ink cream duos. That was like extreme and very immediate. And also, I haven't really tried this with like a full glam, like, you know, concealer as a base type of thing. I've only done it on my bare lids, so it could be wear different, and we'll see today, you know, with like more of like a concealer as like a primer. But that's why this one is number 11, because I just feel like I'll use all of them except for the next one more than this one. So that's why it's like this. And also when I'm reaching for these, for the most part, I'm just using my finger really quickly. Like this is like 1 minute makeup, okay? Like no time, not really focusing. This one I would want to take a little bit more time with. So, you know, that's again where the ranking could kind of shift sometimes. Like if I was going for a look that was kind of like smoky and silvery like this, maybe I would reach for this one over some of the others. But for every day, really, I like the more just kind of simple frosty neutral looks. And then the last one is Daydream, because I really just never ever reached for this. I did, of course, when I first had it, but yeah, I don't know. I also feel like something in these shades irritates my eyes sometimes, and I haven't really experienced that with the other palettes. It's just this one, so I don't know if it's something to do with like the purple pigments or something in this. I don't know, or maybe mine is just like bad. I don't know. I've had it for a long time. Because I just don't reach for this ever, I'm gonna have to put that at last place. But again, I love them all. Okay, sorry if that was super chaotic, but I've never done a ranking before and I don't have anything written down or anything, so it was just right off the cuff, you know, and yeah. So for this next part, my plan is to just do some quick, almost eye swatches, but a quick look with the Chalet Lust palette, and then I'm gonna take it off, do my base, and I'll probably just skip through that part, to be honest. And then I'll do like a more like thought out look using the Violet Satine palette. And I also want to kind of demo the new Sonia G Fusion eye brushes, because they're meant for, you know, liquids or creams. They can be used with powders too, of course, and I have used them with powders. But I feel like I got this set and this palette at the same time from the Beautylish gift card event too. So I feel like, you know, they're a good matchup if you're wanting to get one of these kind of cream style palettes and these brushes. So yeah, I'm gonna be demoing these together. So I haven't really been pairing this with other things. I've just been using it on its own, so it can be done. I know like there's not a ton of depth in this palette, but basically this one right here, it's the most like pigmented out of them. So you can use this theoretically as kind of just like a goldy bronzy base, and then, you know, spice it up with whichever one of the more topper ones you can. This one is that more creamy satin shade, and you can see it is a bit more pigmented as well, because it's not that glittery formula. And then this one is the more glittery sort of gold topper, and it's a really nice neutral gold. And then this one here is more of like a lilac-y, sort of lavendery topper. And then on the pinky, I have that darker bronzy kind of color. So this is one swipe, not built up, dry. Again, I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is the wet dry formula. So you can use these wet. I honestly just don't usually use them wet because I feel like they're sparkly enough without it. So I feel like you can see how this one has more depth. Then you got the two more sheer glittery shades, and then the creamier satin shade down there. Okay, so this really quick, this is how I use this palette and pretty much how I use all the other ones, but basically I'll take a deeper shade or sort of mid-tone shade like this. I'll just use my finger. And I'll go in with one more layer, and we'll just see how it kind of builds up. Definitely builds slightly with one more layer for sure. Becomes a little bit more opaque. And then I think I'll do the same thing on the other side, but I'll change which topper I use so we can kind of see both of those. So on this side, I'll use the more goldy topper, and I'll put that kind of right here. And you can definitely see the difference here. So the gold toppery shade is a lot brighter. It's like borderline white gold, but I do feel like it's a little more gold than white gold. You know what I mean? But beautiful. And then on the other side, I'll do the more lilac-y one. Yeah, it's much icier. More gold, more frosty. And then with that satin shade, I'll just kind of put some there, and you can see right away. I know I didn't do it like the most neat, but I just wanted to show you that it is more of like a pigmented satin shade rather than a topper. But of course you can still use it to brighten and highlight. There you go. So you just get a nice bright frosty look. And I think it's just such a nice companion palette as well. I mean, I know a lot of the Tom Ford collectors will have the all matte palettes too, and this would be something that would be great, a great pairing with those. But I don't have any of those ones, so honestly, like I would use this on its own, like I demonstrated here. Or I could pair it with literally any other matte brown that I have. Or you could just pair it with like your bronzer as the deeper base, you know what I mean? So I'm on the fence if I'm gonna pick up the other one, Après Ski, from this collection. It does look very pretty. I just don't know if I'm gonna use that one as much, but I don't know. It is hard to resist. I'll probably end up getting it. But out of the two, I do think this one is the better pick. It's just more unique. It really is. The other one, I feel like you're gonna see 10 times over in the coming years from Tom Ford, where I don't know if he'll do another all frosty palette like this for a while. So in my opinion, this is the one to get. And that's on period. Okay, so my base is pretty much done. I'm gonna be adding, you know, blush, and then I'll do lips and mascara and brows, but let's get started on this eye look. We've got kind of a bit of a more berry brown, a darker brown, cool dark brown, a kind of lavendery silvery sparkle, and then a pinky sort of topper. The formula is a cream, I guess, but it's a very like light to the touch cream. It's not like a Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize type of deal. They're very like smooth, soft creams, you know? And actually I feel like it's a pretty unique formula. Here are the Sonia G Fusion eye brushes. I do have from the previous Fusion set just the Fusion base, the one, you know, the one for foundation or Fusion Pro, whatever. I always mess up the name of that one, but it's the one for foundation. The jumbo base here. So basically they're a blend of synthetic and goat. So they're, you know, you don't have to use these with creams, but I feel like the intended purpose is to be able to use cream and liquid shadows easier. I'm gonna start with the jumbo worker here. This is the worker eye brushes from Sonia are my favorite shape. I'll just hold it up to like the worker 3, for instance. You can see it's basically just a big version of that. But this one's gonna be good if you just want, you know, like a wash all over the lid. Or you could even use this as like a detailed cheek brush. I'm gonna start with the more berry, plummy sort of brown here. So it kind of, I mean, I guess it really depends on your eyes. For me, this is just, it's just right if I wanted to get the whole lid. If it was, you know, any bigger, I would struggle. I think this is probably as big as you could get, or as I could get for an eye brush. Like, here's next to my large Chikuhodo eye brush, and this one, I mean, is so much bigger than this. So, and I thought this one was already like kind of pushing it, but yeah. Gonna take the Fusion blender. So this is a blending brush, but it's actually like, I don't know, it's got like, I feel like a wider base than most blender brushes. I don't know. And it's also like a wider base, and it doesn't fan out too much. It's kind of just like, almost like a big pencil. But I'm just gonna blend a bit. God, the center of my forehead looks super dry right now. My skin's kind of going through it. If you see a bunch of texture, my forehead is dry for some reason. So this one is the Builder. It's a bit of a denser, flatter type of brush. Going into that same berry. With the worker brush, this is the regular worker that's in the set, not the jumbo. Taking the darker shade, I'm just gonna start building some dimension on the outer corner and a little bit into the crease as well. These are so easy to blend. They're very, very nice, I will say. Taking the detail brush, this is a thinner, not super thin though, it's like it's a pencil type shape. And I'm just gonna take the tip into the dark shade. Taking a bit more of that lighter berry brown. With the worker, I'm gonna take the silvery metallic. It's kind of like a mix of like a lavender and silver. It's super cool, you know? And I'm getting a bit onto the lower lash line too, just in the same kind of stroke. And I actually just want to see how it goes on with my finger, if it builds more. Yeah, I would say definitely slightly more impact with the finger, just a little bit. I have heard these can develop hard pans, so I would say just be careful, you know, not to use your fingers too much with these. That's why I think the Fusion set from Sonia G would be, you know, a good companion to these cream quads and other, you know, other cream shadows, of course. I have used them with the Lisa Eldridge Liquid Lyric shadows, and they work amazing with those shadows. I'm so happy. That was one of the first things I tested when I got the brushes because I love those shadows. Taking the Builder brush again into the pink Toppery shade. Now, I'm gonna attempt this. I want to attempt to use the Victoria Beckham Instant Waterline Brightening Pencil or whatever. I just feel like whenever I've used this, it looks a little weird, and I feel like I can't build it. It doesn't glide like how the Kajals do, and I don't know, it's just weird, but I really want to be able to use it. So let me sharpen it real quick. All right, let's see if I can make this work. I need a Q-tip. All right, well that actually glided on okay that time. Well, I don't hate that. What have I been doing? Why hasn't this been working every other time I've been using it? Yeah, that's not that bad. Eyes are definitely like getting watery though. Isamaya Rubber Lash. Just adding a bit more of the darker shade. The darker brown. For highlighter, I'm gonna use Moonstone from, oh, actually, you know what? Why don't I use, for highlight, I'm gonna use the Moonlit Violet highlight here. I think that'll be good. Use the Wayne Goss airbrush. Oh, I forgot blush. Gonna do a bit of Pop from Jones Road. I haven't done my official review on these yet, but I really like these blushes, just so you know. They're gonna be featured more in an upcoming review, but yeah, let's do a bit of Pop. Inochige Pro and the Pat McGrath Under Eye Powder. This is Call Me Peaches from Hindash. Then I'm gonna put the Poolside Gloss from Victoria Beckham on top. Gonna use the Soft Brown Brow Gel from Charlotte Tilbury. Gonna do a quick little buff. Okay, I think this is the finished look, so let's zoom in and then I'll go over my final thoughts on the palette. So, This is the first like complete look I've done with the palette. The other times I've used it, I've just done like this one color all over the lid and just like a little tiny bit of sparkle. But this is the first kind of, I feel like this is like the fullest potential, you know, using like every shade. And I love it. I gotta say, like, I could just see myself doing this look like over and over and over again. It's just so pretty, very easy, you know, every color blends amazing. The only thing I'm worried about is that creasing, but I'll have to leave like a pinned comment because I haven't ever used it with any kind of base underneath, and today I used the KVD Good Apple Concealer. So right now I don't see any creasing. We're just gonna see what happens, you know, at the end of the night. But I love the way all the colors work together. It's just really nice. I feel like this is the first time that Victoria Beckham pencil went on smooth. It's crazy. I don't know why. I don't know, the other times, maybe my eyes were just too watery the past couple times, and I had to kind of like wipe this off, wipe the tears off of this pencil as I was going along. So I don't know, I'm not completely sold on this pencil yet. Yeah, I don't know if it was necessarily fair to me to rank this formula in with the others, because it's just so different, you know. It's almost like a completely different experience, basically. Both good experiences, but just kind of different. I'll have to get a couple of the other cream quads and just see, you know, what those are like, and then, you know, I'll get back to you. I think these brushes are amazing. I love that they're dense. They're perfect for creams. Like, they really are perfect for cream shadows. You can still use Sonia's other brushes for creams as long as they are undyed goat hair. For whatever reason, I guess probably the cream interferes with the dyes and the bristles or something like that. Yeah, so you can still use cream and liquids with the undyed versions of her brushes. Like, for example, this brush versus this brush, you know. But these Fusion series, I think, you know, they do what is intended. And yeah, I'm really glad I got these. I mean, I was on the fence because I was like, do I really need like more eye brushes? But the answer is always yes, of course. So yeah, highly recommend these from Sonia. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you liked the video. I hope it came out all right. I'm very nervous because, like I said, I've never done the ranking style before, so yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Anyways, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the bell so you're notified every single time that I upload a new video. Follow my Instagram, PrettyEarthAndGram, and follow me on Newness so you're notified every single time I'm doing a live stream. Okay, goodbye.